Hello everybody, and welcome to Crusader Kings II, a Game of Thrones. If you might have seen my content, which I uploaded in the previous weeks, in the previous month, you'll notice that it's actually a lot different from this game. This game is a lot different from, let's say, Dead by Daylight. But I currently have 915 hours into this game and still going strong. And yeah, but I'm not playing the regular Crusader Kings game, the vanilla game. I'm playing a Game of Thrones mod. This is modification for Crusader Kings II. Now, I don't want to waste too much time explaining how this mod works and what the essentials of the mod are. If you have any questions, if you see something which you don't understand in this video, you can ask me down below. I probably have an answer because I've played this mod for around 600 hours, so I'll probably know what I'm talking about. Either way, I am going to start a new single player campaign, of course, and I've decided that I'm going to start in Robert's Rebellion, and I'm not actually going to play as any of these big character names. As you see here, Aerys the Mad King, of course, the Mad King who reigned the Seven Kingdoms before Robert Baratheon usurped his title. This is actually the event before Robert got the Iron Throne. This is actually what got Robert the Iron Throne. But the thing about this mod, what's so great, is that history can change. Anything can happen, basically. Robert can die due to sickness. Robert can die in battle. Even, and of course in the show and in the books, Robert kills Rhaegar Targaryen on the battlefield. But with this mod, it can go the other way around, and that's why I love this mod. But either way, I'm not going to start at any of these, so I'm going to use the custom game setup. So what I have decided to do is I'm actually going to play as a bannerman for Lord Paramount Eddard Stark. So, of course, we see the north here, which is the territory of this guy, Lord Paramount Eddard of the North. He's actually very youthful in this start. He's 19 years old. Robert is also 19 or 20. I think 19 is even younger than Eddard. We can actually see. Yeah, Robert's also 19. So I'm going to start in the north as one of the bannermen, as one of the bannermen from Eddard Stark. But you of course have the tiers of rulers in Crusader Kings II Game of Thrones as well. So the tier is like this. You have the Iron Throne, Aerys Targaryen, which is an Emperor tier. So basically that is the highest tier you can get in the game. There's no higher tier than Emperor. The Iron Throne itself is an Emperor tier. How do you call it? Emperor tier land. Let's put it like that. I don't know how to say it, but it's an Emperor tier land, so it's the highest tier. And the Iron Throne, the jure part of the Iron Throne, which will always be the Iron Throne during wars, is the Crown Lands. So you cannot currently see that, but basically everything in the gray here, which is part of the Iron Throne, is Crown Land territory. That will always be part of the king himself. Now the king, of course, has his allies too. He has to reach probably the most powerful vassal in the whole kingdom, because it's the biggest of all the seven kingdoms, and it also produces a lot of troops, produces a lot of taxes. It's a very strong capital. It's actually the second strongest Lord Paramountcy next to the Westlands. I just made up a word, I think, Lord Paramountcy. I don't know if that is a thing, but either way, you understand what I mean. They're very powerful. And they also had Dorne on their side, the Martells are on their side because Rhaegar Targaryen, this great character here, is married. Wow, my voice is married to the Princess of Dorne, which is the daughter of Doran, if I'm right, or sister. I think it's a sister, but I'm not entirely sure. Probably a sister. All right. So those are the allies of the Iron Throne, the Reach and Dorne, which may not seem like much, and it really isn't that much, but the Reach is very powerful. Now we have 2 of the 7 kingdoms which are right now not decided in a war, and that is Tywin Lannister. He is not decided in his war, he is neutral and does not side with anybody, so just sit there and probably just decide at the last moment. That's usually what he does in the start. So Tywin Lannister, he is neutral, and also Lord Paramount Quelon Greyjoy, who is the father of Balon Greyjoy, who is the father of Theon Greyjoy and Yara/Asha Greyjoy. He's also neutral. Now here are the major opponent, of course, of the Iron Throne is Robert Baratheon. He is, of course, looking to usurp the Iron Throne, and yeah, his most important goal is to get back Lyanna Stark, because that is what started this whole war. It was to get Lyanna Stark, who is the sister of the Lord Paramount of the North, Eddard. He wants to get her back because he was betrothed to her, but it was said that this guy, Rhaegar Targaryen, kidnapped her. And spoiler alert, in the show it actually is confirmed that it wasn't actually kidnapping, it was really eloping. The two eloped together and might even have gotten married down here in Dorne at where's it? Skyreach, I think, is where the Tower of Joy is, or it's Princess Pass. It's one of those two, either way. So we have Lord Paramount Robert being one of the major opponent. He is what it actually is all resided on. Now he has 3 allies. He has the North, which is the 3rd strongest Lord Paramountcy. I'm saying it again. I'm just sticking to that because I don't know how to say it differently. I'm just gonna put it like he was the 3rd strongest kingdom, and I mean it's the 3rd strongest kingdom in this war, because you have the Reach first, then probably the Westlands, and I'm talking about troops, not about taxes. You probably have the Vale, and then you have the North. So yeah, it's the 4th, but in this war it's the 3rd, because the Westlands are obviously not joining the war. So we got Eddard Stark being the 3rd strongest in this war, and we've got the Vale, who's the 2nd strongest next to Reach. You probably won't expect it because the Vale is not the biggest of kingdoms, but Jon Arryn has got a really good his people really love him, and same for Eddard, but Eddard for some reason doesn't have the full levy, which is weird because everybody loves it either way. And they have the Trident, which is Lord Paramount Hoster Tully's territory. Now the Trident is the Riverlands / the Trident, who is he is the father of the wife, the spouse of Lord Paramount Eddard, Catelyn, who we also know from the show and the books. But yeah, I kind of made it into a little tutorial, but it's not really a tutorial. It's more like an introduction to this scenario, and how things are probably gonna play out. Well, actually, I can't say that because I don't know how they're gonna play it. But yeah, you got the. So we were talking about the tiers here. You have the Lord tier, which is basically in the vanilla game it's a count, but in the CK2 Game of Thrones it's a Lord. So Lord, you have the regular Lords, which is the lowest tier of playable characters. You have Barons and all that shit, but we don't count that. This is the lowest playable tier there is. And after that you have High Lords, which are a little bit stronger and have a little more, um, how do you call it? A little more, mm, a little more, um, damn, I can't get this word. With a little more possibilities, yeah, that's the word. Wow, that fucking took me 10 seconds, but more possibilities to, you know, expand, to do things, basically. And then you have the King/Lord Paramounts, which I just talked about, which are the most important characters in Westeros. And then you have the Emperor, which you cannot see here, but that's basically Aerys right now, the highest tier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start as a Lord. I'm actually going to really challenge myself in this one. I'm not going to rule right off the bat because I'm going to leave that to Eddard, but I'm going to possibly help him in his wars and, you know, do stuff for him. But that shouldn't be my first priority. Either way, where I'm going to start is here, right here up north in the north, so really up high north. I'm going to start as one of these little mountain clansmen. As you can see, the High Lordship, it doesn't have a High Lordship, but that High Lordship can be created. There is a de jure High Lordship here. This is the High Lordship of North Clansmen, I think it's called. I'm going to start as one of the lords. So we have Pine Sand, which is little, and I tend to, when I, you know, make my own custom house, I tend to, you know, make it off of a family that isn't really that important. Let's say Little is one of the more known houses in the north, so I'm not going to overwrite them and make them landless. Braceland Hill Flint, which is also a pretty good house. We have Nori, which is also pretty good. Nod, and we have Wool. I'm thinking either Wool or not. I am going to go. Let's see. Very hard. Both very hard. I'm gonna go with not. I'm gonna go with Arendelle. This is going to be my location. And no, actually, I'm going to go with Wool right here because I have the water, so I can create ships in the future. Yeah, that's gonna be what I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose the ruler designer to create my character. His ethnicity will be Hill Clansman because we're of course from this area. So I'm gonna create my character real quick. I don't really want to waste much time on this, but you know, he has to look a little bit cool, in my opinion, of course. Neck, cheeks. Yes, you have good cheeks. Ears, yeah, it's cool. Eye color. I'm gonna give him a brown color. His hairstyle. So, yeah, as you can see, you might think, hey, he has different hairstyles. You have more hairstyles, and the faces look a little bit more, how do you say, detailed and better. Well, that is because, oh, sorry about that. That is because I am running I'm actually running a couple submods, but I'm running the Congenital Overhaul submod, which basically gives me a lot more options in this mod itself. So it's a mod within a mod, which is actually a crazy thought if you think about it. But it's a mod within a mod. It, you know, I'll talk about the submods in a second here. First, I'm gonna be busy with creating my own banner here. So I didn't really think about this yet, which is really stupid because usually I do this before I start a playthrough. But what sigil am I going to choose and why? I think I'm going to choose a sigil where there's a snake on it. Or no, actually not. I don't like any of these. Sorry about the excessive clicking, by the way, but oh, wait. has to kind of make sense to our house. Like, it has to be. I'm thinking this one. Thinking just a muscle, just strong North clansman. Yeah, let's do that. All right, our first color will be black, and their second color. I'm thinking green. Black, black background with a green arm. Yeah, I like it. All right. So my first name, or decided, it's going to be Cregan. I tend to roleplay in my playthrough, so I also make names that kind of make sense into in the world of A Song of Ice and Fire. I cannot talk today. Either way, his first name is gonna be Cregan, and the dynasty name. What should be the dynasty name here? So we are from Crow's Edge. That makes me think that Crow will kind of be a cool dynasty name. Cregan Crow of Crow's Edge. I actually think that's a really cool idea. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna not check married. I'm gonna get my cultures Hill Clansman, religion is Old Gods, and yeah, I'm gonna do all this in a second. My education, I'm going to be a skilled commander, which increases my age by 7. I have to keep an eye out for the age. I don't want to be too old. I want to have a little bit of playing time with my first character. So as you can see here, I have a lot of traits to choose from, and I think 75% maybe of these traits are because of the congenital overhaul. Seriously, if you do not have the congenital overhaul sub mod for a Game of Thrones mod for Crusader Kings, get it right away. It's crazy good. It's really more experience enhancing. It's really a good sub mod. I'm also going to be a trained fighter, which only increases my age by 2. And I'm gonna choose some character traits for my character. So I'm thinking that first for my first character, I want to kind of, secure my line. So that's why I'm going to use kind of a lustful character, who is also a little bit greedy. Who's also a little wroth, and and for the sake of age, I'm gonna also give him arbitrary, which is not that bad of a trait in my opinion, and it lowers your age by 8. My character is also going to be a ambitious man, and is also going to be envious. Alright, so he's 26 right now. We basically have every trait we want. We have a lot of bad sin traits, but yeah, our marshal's looking good. Our diplomacy is looking terrible. So I'm going to up my diplomacy to 8. And I'm gonna up my martial to 6 and my intrigue to 7. So we're now 32 years old, which makes me think we need one more quote-unquote bad trait, and that bad trait is going to be one of these here, and it's going to be selfish. Selfish is not that bad of a trait, and it lowers your age by, I think it was 4 or 3. Either way, this is how we're going to start. We're going to start as Cregan Crow of Crow's Edge. Still think it's an awesome name. We're going to start with 8 diplomacy, 6 martial, with 5 stewardship, 7 intrigue, and 5 learning. And of course, these are the updated stats from these traits I got here. I got a lot of sin traits, but my character is not too bad. I think it's not too bad for a 20-year-old guy. and he's also a skilled commander. Keep that in mind. Actually, I'm thinking of a different education here. I'm thinking more charismatic negotiator. Maybe even intrigue, because my diplomacy is not that high. I have bad. No, no, this is not good. Um, let's get intricate web weaver. I like that one. 15 intrigue, 11 martial, because I didn't want to choose this skilled commander because we only have trained fighter, so it won't really matter that much to due to our martial, um, due to trained fighter, and I guess intrigue suits our character just fine. We can basically, you know, get a lot of intrigue stuff going on in our game, and yeah, that's it. So I think we're already like, didn't check the time, how long we're doing this already, but you know, as you can clearly see, I have a lot of things I need to address before starting a game, and I want everybody to be, you know, be aware of what I'm going to try to do and what I'm going to try and accomplish and with what character. And you know, I just want everybody to know and understand what I'm doing. And of course, if you have questions about what am I doing, and of course you can give me tips too. If you think if I did something which you think is a bad thing, you can always say it, but please be polite. Because sometimes people tend to be rude about stuff I do, but you know, it's just the way it is, I guess. So, starting off my game here, we have the game rules. I'm going to enable Iron Man mode, which for the record is a 100% security that I won't be using cheats, so don't be getting at me with that shit because Iron Man mode is enabled. Alright, these are my game rules. I will go over them in a second. I think they're all good. I'm gonna load. No, I have said. Well, I'll actually go over them right now, real quick. I will only go over the major changes I made, and one of them is non-epidemic diseases like cancer. I've set them to rare because I think the cancer trait, I see them on every single character after a while, and cancer, you know, it's really kind of game breaking to me, and sometimes, you know, characters I love just die of cancer, and you know, I don't mind the minor epidemics, but the non-epidemic diseases, I kind of think it's a little bit too much. So I'll set it to rare. I could have also set it to off, but rare is enough for me. And you know, if you don't like that, I'm sorry, but of course I want my viewers to enjoy it as well, but I also want to enjoy playing it myself. Also, well, you see a change here. Right away I put Shadow Retreat on off, which means retreating armies will move into a neighboring county, which is always was the case before last year when it got into a patch and Shadow Retreat got on, and basically if you lose a battle here, Shadow Retreat will make your army like retreat all the way over here, and you can't catch up to an army because they move really fast with Shadow Retreat. So I put that on off. It just retreats in a neighboring county / lordship. I'm sorry about the coughing and shit, but my voice is kind of cracked up. I'm not feeling that good actually. I'm a little bit having a little bit of a cold, but I guess I'm hanging in there. Still making these videos, grinding out there. Cringe. Either way, culture conversions on off. That's default. Rating historical adventures on normal. Yeah. What's really different here? Release prisoners after punishment. So normally this is an off, but I think this mechanic. Why should that be an? I mean, normally it's an on, but why should this be an on? Like, it doesn't make any sense if you just blind, castrate, torture, mutilate, humiliate prisoners. Why should they be released? You can just do with prisoners whatever you want in this game, and I like it that way, you know. And for example, in the show and in the books, Ramsay. Another spoiler alert incoming, but Ramsay, of course, tortured Theon, and he didn't throw him out like, okay, I tortured you, you can now just walk away free. No, he still kept him there, still kept on torturing him, and that's what made him weak. I've also put the dragon hatching on taming on less hard. Not a big chance there will be dragons anytime soon, but it's on less hard, so basically slightly less than normal, 5 times more likely to succeed in taming, so it's a little bit more easy. The reason I did that is because if there is a chance that someone gets a dragon egg or a dragon possibly, I want them to have a big chance of hatching it, so dragons can come back in the world, have a big chance of coming back into the world. And otherwise, if someone like hatches a dragon egg and fails, you have to wait another freaking couple of 100 years before someone gets a dragon egg, and there's a chance that they won't even get it. Either way, everything else here is on default. Except for this here. This means dynastic stability, which, it says it right here, allows a character to adopt the dynasty of an ancestor when they gain a title if the ancestor held in the past. So for example, you play a character, let's say I play Eddard Stark, he gets a son who isn't of his house, so he basically got a matrilineal marriage, and his son got the dynasty of the mother. But the mother's dynasty is obviously not the dynasty that normally rules the north. The dynasty that, either way, the dynasty that normally rules the world, the north, is House Stark. So when it's not House Stark, and someone who is ruling the north and has an ancestor what was a Stark, they can adopt the dynasty, so that makes the realm more stable and secure their claim more. So that's basically what it does. I've also got dynamic coats of arms on, but it says here, any ruler who belongs to a dynasty that has access to the dynamic coat of arms system will use their house sigil for the primary title's flag. That's basically every single Lord Paramount here. Like the Baratheons, Starks, Lannisters, they all have their own coat of arms, so they don't have the vanilla things. They will have that at the beginning of the game, but once you start it, they will go into their sigils. And bloodline settings, this is one of my submods which I will be going over in a second. So I think I'm good to go here. Iron mode is enabled. Start this game up. Iron Man Crow's Edge. And yeah, finally we're going to start the game, but we're not actually going to start the game because I'm gonna have to do a couple of things more, tell a couple of things more, just address a couple things more. Did I really say that? A couple more things. Well, as you can tell, I'm clearly not English/American. I'm actually Dutch, so that's why sometimes my English is a little bit rubbish, and my sentences don't really make sense. Either way, welcome to Crusader Kings: A Game of Thrones. So I'll read this real quick. If you don't want to, you can just skip ahead a little bit. In Crusader Kings II: A Game of Thrones, you play as a succession of rulers from a single dynasty. There's no set goal, but the world is filled with ambitious rivals. Secure more land to increase your power and protect your house. And remember, winter is coming, which is actually our liege's words. You cannot hold infinite amount of land yourself. To expand, you will need to rely on vassal rulers. Keep them happy with titles and gifts, lest they decide to revolt. As a ruler, your first priority is to secure an heir. If you do not have a legitimate heir when your character dies, the game will end. Other pressing matters appear as alerts along the top of the screen, so those things you see here are all alerts. So, Crusader Kings II is a possible real-time game. It means that you can issue commands both while the game is paused and when the clock is running. To pause or unpause the game, click the date in the upper right corner or press the spacebar. I almost always use the spacebar because it just you know, I have my hand on the keyboard either way, so it's just better. Use the plus and minus symbols to speed time up or slow it down. Crusader Kings 2 takes place on a fully 3D map, blah 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 blah. You can zoom in and zoom out. That's all clear to me and to you probably as well. So here my kind of overhaul is for my character. I'm playing a Hill Clansman Lord of the Old Gods religion. So my religion is Old Gods. There are a lot of religions in A Song of Ice and Fire as well, just as in the real world. Um, Basically, Old Gods is just the religion of the whole North. Just this regular North. They'll go over that soon. So I'm a feudal government, basically have the normal rules, but you'll see all that, and it's really time wasting if I just explain all of this right now. You'll just notice it's not really that important either way. So this is our county slash lordship. I should call it lordship. Crow's Edge right here, just in the corner of the north. So we're next to 3 counties. We're next to Pines End, Lord Torrhen the Little. We're next to Torgon, Flint, and we're next to Edwild Knot. And these 5 counties right here, they are all part of the High Lordship of North Clansmen, if I'm right. Let's look at the Jure. North Clans, not North Clansmen, it's North Clans. Either way, you get what I'm saying. So what do I need to address more? Yeah, the way I'll be playing this game, in my playthroughs, I watch a lot of Game of Thrones, CK2 Game of Thrones videos myself. And, I enjoy watching J Square, John Jeremy, and NG Paradox the most. You should definitely check them out because they have awesome playthroughs of CK2 Game of Thrones. But I've kind of adopted the way NG Paradox plays, and that is really role playing. He tends to role play, and basically what role play means is that you make decisions in this game because you will get quick events and not quick events, but just events that you have to give your opinion on or make a decision on. And I'm going to do that based off of my trades which I picked. So say a child is being naughty. Is that a good example? Yeah. A child is being naughty to me, and of course my character is wroth. So my character has a hot temper, so that means that he will be angry quicker. So let's say my character was patient, then my character would have responded differently than when he is wroth. And I'm gonna say the same thing as NG Paradox always says. I do want to win the game. I do want to, marry my character to the best possible characters in the game, but I also have to gain alliances and do realistic marriages. Like, I'm not going to marry Daenerys if I have the chance, because that's not realistic. Why would you marry a fucking just a regular lord? That doesn't make any sense to me. So that's basically how I wanted to play this game, and I hope you all enjoy watching that, because I think things can really get interesting when you tend to roleplay. I'm gonna take a sip of my drink here because I'm getting a little bit of a dry throat. Okay, so we're playing as Cregan Crow. Um, So right now we have some things to address here in the top corner of our screen. So I said at the beginning of the video I didn't really want to make this a tutorial video, but I kind of did. And I think if you don't understand this game yet, you might understand it a little bit more now, and you might think like, what is it talking about? But please leave your questions down below if you do not understand something, because it's really frustrating when you watch something and you don't understand it. Either way, we have some open council positions. We only have a Castellum right now, which is one of the most important. Every single council position is important, so that was a bit, weird to say for me. either way, we're going to select our council right now. So we have the Castellan. We have 2 characters with 10 stewardship. So I'm going to give a quick review on the council as well. You have the counselors who have, of course, every single character has their own skills in doing things. So say this guy, he has 10 diplomacy, 6 martial, 10 stewardship, 8 intrigue, 8 learning. So basically, a justiciar says right here, the most important trait or skill needs to be diplomacy. So you probably want to pick someone with 10 diplomacy. So I'm gonna pick this guy as my justiciar, and these are the things he can do. He can perform statecraft, which possible outcomes are relations relations improved, reputation repaired, and reputation tarnished. Um, you see the little percentage yearly. That's are the percentages that you can fire that event for gaining improved relationship or improved reputation, blah blah blah. That's basically what it is. You will see it throughout the game. I'm gonna pick my counselor here real quick. This guy doesn't really like me, but that's because I am a claimant of his title. He still has a strong claim on this lordship. Okay. I'm gonna have Hugo train troops. Gonna get a treasurer. This guy doesn't like me because I fired him from the council. That's not really a smart move by me. Either way, you're gonna oversee the realm. Spy master. Maester, we have a maester already? Okay. And we have a priest who is terrible. Alright, you do nothing. You just be idle. Everybody else is doing something. Cool. So there are a couple of things I need to do. I need to pick an ambition, and my first ambition is going to be to get married because I need to produce heirs. Without heirs, your game over. It says it here, not dynastic heir. So my heir right now is Lord Paramount Eddard, which is not my dynastic heir. So that means if I die at this moment, Eddard will be my heir. So I cannot play on. It means game over, and that's basically IRMM mode 2. It's really tough IRMM mode. By the way, I'm playing on easy difficulty, so my fertility is increased by plus 25%, and my morale of armies. And because I'm doing that is because I'm playing on IRMM mode, and I do not play in IRMM mode that much. So I have to get a little bit used to playing on IRMM mode. So that's basically my excuse for using an easy difficulty mode. But seriously, yeah, that's why I do it. Okay, so we're going to choose the I'm going to choose the rulership focus because I don't want to really upset anyone while I don't have a heir yet. So I don't want to mess around with the intrigue shit yet. We do have to give out some special minor titles. So these are the titles you can give out. Like you can give these titles out, Master of Horse, Hunt, High Almoner, Cupbearer, to your vassals to make them like you a little bit more. So it's basically a good way to make your vassals like you more. So like this guy doesn't like me right now. I'm gonna give him Master of the Horse. He likes me a little bit better, but over time he will get to like me more. I think I've not ruled for a while, of course, because I just created my new character. So yeah, basically what I mean to say with that is you get more better opinion of your characters when your character is a long-time ruler of your demesne. So basically, I have been ruling for 1 day right now, but someone who has been ruling for 30 years has, of course, a good relationship with his vassals. The vassals know him, he knows his vassals, blah blah blah. So that's basically what it does. My designated region will be. I will not choose a designated region yet because I don't know who to trust really. I don't know who to trust. And my bodyguard will be Hugo, the big bucket. He's a good martial character. He's a child of Garwool. He's also looking pretty good. Alright, so I need to get married here. So there are a couple of candidates here. I want to marry to someone who is young and still has a lot of time to go to create children for me. Um, Actually, the no Blackwood is pretty um, tempting to go for. You get a non-aggression pack with Blackwood, which is basically not that helpful because Blackwood is all the way over here. Um, it is Old God's Faith. Okay, I didn't even know that. But Blackwood is all the way over in the Trident, so it doesn't make any sense to do that from a role-playing perspective. Frey, it's a little bit closer, but I would love to get someone in the north. So let's check if I can get like an alliance with the High Lord. Goblet Glover, your sibling. She's already married, goddammit. To Jorah Mormont. Interesting. To Mr. Friendzone. Um, Maybe the Umbers have a woman for me. 7 years old, that's too young. Oh, look at this. She has terrible, terrible stats. But from a role-playing perspective, this kind of makes sense, this marriage. I'm gonna ask them to marry me. This will also result in a non-aggression pact with one of the strongest houses in the north. So I'm gonna propose that. Hope you understand that I do that. She has terrible stats, but right now at the moment I'm looking for alliances to, secure my line, secure that I won't be subjugated by some other douchebag in the north. So basically, we did all of this stuff. This was a very, very long episode. I hope you, like what I did. I hope you didn't mind that was a kind of a long, stretched out episode, and that I didn't get to do anything yet but my character. But I just had to set everything up for this playthrough because I'm planning on doing this for a long time. This playthrough, looking forward to it. With the start here, and actually that I came up with the name Crow as my dynasty name. I really still really like that. So props to myself for that. You know. Either way, I want to thank you for watching this video and coming here with me, just playing this through. I'm really looking forward to playing one of my favorite games and uploading it to YouTube as well for you guys. Um, so yeah, basically check out the channel for more videos. I posted Dead by Daylight videos tonight. Um, I also posted some Friday the 13th gameplay a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, check that out. Check my channel out. Subscribe to my channel if you like my content. If you want to see more, leave a like on this video. Will be very much appreciated. And tell your friends about my channel if they like Crusader Kings 2. If they, enjoy watching these videos too, man. I'm planning to do this for a long time. So just make sure that you stay tuned for all the videos that are coming up. Thank you for watching, and peace.